Hi, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a very important topic because when we look at the state of our society nowadays, we realize that illnesses seem so mysterious. As soon as we have a symptom, we tend to enter a fight. There's something wrong. What is interesting, so if we look at the state of our health, the eight leading cause of death nowadays are all lifestyle related. We talk about cancer. It's an imbalance. It's dysregulation of the system. Cardiovascular disease. It's not a bug. Respiratory disease, digestive issues, diabetes, nervous system dysregulation, autoimmune, these are all what we're afflicted nowadays. This is not a bug. This is lifestyle related. How come? What does that mean, lifestyle related? We have learned to conclude all the symptoms that are happening are actually something that we need to fight. I want to share with you another way to understand it that will probably make more sense and that will empower you, give more solution, more possibility of actually realigning ourselves with health. This is fundamental. As we live our lives since day one, there is an accumulation. The fire creates ashes. So no matter how our lifestyle is healthy or not, no matter what we're doing, we eat, it creates residues. We exercise, it creates lactic acid. Everything good we do, have also create some residues. And the body has means to manage this. What happened today is like we have an extra load that has been added to all this. First, for the first time in history, we've been accessing so much food. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, so that means like we tend to overeat. So that means like when we eat, we need to break this down. We need to eliminate it. Okay, normally we look back in history, what we were eating, we had plenty of time to digest it, and to access the food was not as easy as it is nowadays. So we tend to overeat. So that means that we cannot break down everything we eat. We break down only a fraction of it. We eat fully, we fill ourselves, and we fill ourselves in the morning, we fill ourselves at lunchtime, and we fill ourselves at dinner time, and in between we nibble on something. So this is not the way it was designed to be. So what happens is our body is working on it, is doing its best to manage all this until it can't. So that means like on the way, it creates residue. It creates like undigested particles that are accumulating in the system. And then this over time, it also overwhelms all our filtering system. So that means like it goes inside our bloodstream and then start to pollute all our internal organ. And it's gradual, it's invisible, it just happens. It happens and we feel like we're invincible and everything is normal, I'm fine, until one day I'm not anymore, and we think that something just happened. It's not like something that just happened, it's something that has been accumulating and the body has been compensating and keeping the show going, because your body is not against you. It's constantly fighting to keep balance. So it's just do the best it can to manage the load of toxicity until it can't. Until at some point it can't. So that means like, and then it starts showing symptoms, whatever it is. Can be a skin rash, can be a headache, can be brain fog, can be all kinds of minor things a digestive issue, feeling tired after a meal. There's all kinds of little signs that we often ignore. There's a saying we say it will pass. And in fact, somehow it passes at the beginning. At some point it passes. And then, but over time, at the same time, if we're not addressing that, the body continues to accumulate and to clog more and more systems. Okay. And at some point, we are caught with chronic issues. We're caught with chronic issues. And chronic issues is not only deadly issues. It becomes deadly at some point, but it means like it can be like, okay, chronic headache, chronic brain fog, chronic insomnia, all kinds of, or chronic bloating, cannot eat almost anything at some point. So all these showing that the body cannot process the load that is there ever. So that means like this is what we call a state of toxemia. Toxemia is the state of toxicity that is higher than what the body can process in a single day. So that means like it won't get better. If we don't support it, if we don't help, the body won't catch up on this. It cannot. What it can, the capacity the body has to produce enzyme, because this is actually what cleanses the body, what the body uses naturally to cleanse itself are enzymes. Enzymes, it's like, I'm not making this up. Even if you look at commercials of laundry powder, what they promote is their level of enzymes in their powder. That means like they're very strong. So it's the same thing. Enzymes are the agents of cleansing, of cleaning. These are the little Pac-Mans that are just traveling throughout your bloodstream and nibbling on whatever is not supposed to be there. Okay, so at some point, there's more toxicity than what your little Pac-Mans can handle in a single day. So we are down into a downward spiral from that time. The body needs help. It needs absolutely help. And another way that you will notice, because okay, if you say it will pass, you will start noticing that your level of energy is also going downward. And oftentimes people will say, oh yeah, because I'm 40, or because I'm 50, or because I'm 60, we'll blame it on the age, when in reality, it's not about the age. It's about the level of toxicity and the amount of available enzymes to spark, to fuel the metabolic functions. Let me explain you one thing about enzymes. Enzyme, we produce that, okay? It's part of our DNA. It's a protein that we produce, but at first it doesn't have a function, predetermined function. It will go according to the availability and what are the priorities to do. Okay, so we call them source enzyme. The source enzymes is the bank account. That's what is in the bank account. And according, if we need to digest something, we will go into digestive enzyme. If there's less and there's enough, we'll go to metabolic enzyme. What is metabolic? It means like making your heart beat, making your lungs breathe, making your brain think, making your energy, your vitality up and excited, enthusiasm, enhancing, fueling the life that is within, and making all the millions of reactions happening every nanosecond happen. Now we say that enzymes are the spark plugs of life. Yeah, it's not like one more building block like a vitamin is, or a mineral is, or protein is. These are the building blocks. Okay, so you can bring as many building blocks, you can take as many supplements as you want, but the enzymes are the working force. So whatever you have in the field to build your building, but if there's no workers coming today, nothing will happen. So that's what enzyme, that's the difference, because we're so overwhelmed by the number of new supplements and minerals and powders and capsules that are there to kind of something or to feed an aspect of our body needs. The enzymes are the workforce. They are the ones who make things happening. So as we get more and more intoxicated, the body sees that as a priority. So if you eat a meal, it looks like innocent, but digestion for the body is an emergency. And if it doesn't happen, you will understand what it means. Emergency. You will feel bad. You will think you die. It's like it's indigestion or bloating. You feel so uncomfortable. Like there's something that is a priority there. Digestion and detoxification is two digestive function. So we digest the food we just ate, or we digest the food we ate last year that hasn't been processed yet. And I'm not just talking about food, I just make it simple, but if we add the chemicals, we breathe the chemicals that is in the food, the beauty product, the household product, that we're overflowed by extra toxins that we didn't have. But let's just understand it in a simple way and talk about what comes in, okay? Like what we ingest, all the toxicity we ingest or we create by as a byproduct. So when this happens, at some point as we age, because the bank account is reduced, we have a limited amount of enzyme in a lifetime. When we exhaust that amount of enzymes, we die. That's it. That's no more fuel. The car stops. Okay, that's how it works. We go through our enzyme tank and then we die. When we're young, no matter what we're doing, we eat, we overeat, we overdo everything, we party, everything. We wake up the next morning, we go in another. It's like we have an amount of enzyme that is big. We have a big amount of enzyme and there's no problem. If we were born normal and healthy is like that. Some people, who are more fragile at birth may experience may have a different experience, but normally that's the majority. And then at some point we start losing a little bit our enthusiasm, and like we don't feel as excited. We start feeling more tired. We start having brain fog. We start feeling our energy level, our vitality lowering down. And we blame it on age. But in reality, is the bank account is smaller and we keep the same need, like the toxemia needs to be addressed. It's a priority. So if we are in a state of toxemia, that means like the body will produce 24/7 enzyme just to try to manage the load that is clogging its system. Okay, so the body has 5 drainage pathways. Okay, there's 5 channels that the body will use to channel out its toxicity. When these clog, it starts to back up. So that means like the body doesn't send out and it just piles up inside our system. Okay, this is when the body doesn't think twice. This is a priority. And at the same time, our habits of waking up in the morning and having a big breakfast and having a little snack before lunch and having the lunch and having a little snack into the afternoon and coming and having a big dinner and nibbling in front of the TV in the evening, sitting, moving, sitting, eating, sitting, because at the same time, as we access more food, we also have a more sedentary life. Okay, so it's kind of opposite. We eat like construction guy while we're sitting all day long. Most of people, okay, most people, there's less physical work required nowadays. So what happens is that since the amount of source enzyme diminishes, the majority of the enzyme will be directed to digestion and detoxification. So that means like you're going to start feeling your metabolic functions lowering down, weakening. You're not feeling enthusiastic, you're not excited, you don't feel like doing this anymore. At some point, it becomes a concern because, of course, the body will always keep the heart beating and the lungs breathing. This is also a priority for the body. So, when we don't have enough enzymes to achieve those two functions, then that's the end. So, this is where the supplementing with enzyme kicks in. And that's why it's revolutionary to bring this in, because let's take the body as a business. It's got something to do, and it wants to thrive. It wants to explore, it wants to create, it wants to expand and as goals. So there's two kinds of businessmen or businesswomen. Is one will just say, okay, wake up, but I still need to make my bed, cook my food, do my dishes, all this, and whatever energy I have left, I will think about my business. So most likely, there's not much left after all doing all the chores related to a daily life. There's not much energy left to make the business grow. So what the wise business person will do will hire people to take care of these chores, okay, and will focus on the growth of the business. Okay, so it's fresh in the morning, go straight, do some exercise, make sure that it's healthy, have a good meal, and immediately fresh, start working and being creative to grow his company. It's the same thing with the body. So it means like you have the option of using your own power to cleanse and get rid of all the accumulation and the digestion and cleaning the house, which you have no choice. The body will do it. It will not ask you, should I do that now or take care of my metabolic function? No, because it is a priority. It is a matter of life and death, actually, for the body. So it will do that. So if we start bringing digestive enzyme to take care of these functions, the body sees that and say, oh, it's taken care of. There's an input of staff inside my body that takes care of the digestion and also penetrates my system and start taking care and nibbling about all the accumulation that was there and that all my energy was going to. So that means like the body say, okay, this is taken care of. That's fine. I am gonna work on improving the metabolic functions, the one that I've been leaving behind, the one that I've been neglecting in the past. I will catch up on this. So this is the true meaning of rejuvenation, because you're kind of walking back in time. Aging is a gradual day-to-day intoxication. Okay, we're moving forward and then we're losing our function. This is a different mindset, because normally we say, yeah, but it's normal. I'm 50. Oh, it's normal. I'm 60. We blame it on age. But if we understand it, that it's not about age. I was totally perfect 5 years ago. Everything, I didn't have these symptoms 5 years ago, and now I'm starting to have this. So it's not like a time clock that say, okay, now you're bloating. It's an accumulation, it's a dysregulation that happens because something got on the way, some roadblocks got on the way to the body's metabolic functions and its toxicity, its accumulation on all undigested and unwanted matters that the body is spending all its energy to break down and to eliminate. So as soon as you start bringing the enzyme. And when we talk about enzymes, we need to make sure that these enzymes there's a variety of enzymes, and also that they are systemic. So that means like we need to make sure that the enzymes that you're choosing will be refined enough to penetrate the bloodstream. Okay, being 100% bioavailable, pre-digested. Because if the more clogged your system gets, one of the first organ or system that gets clogged is your digestive system, because it's an entry point. It's an entry point. So that means like all the along the digestive, the small intestine, where the interface between the external world, because once you're in the digestive system, you're still in the outside world. It did not penetrate your system yet. There's a breaking down happening, and there's an interface called the villi, that the nutrients, after it's been broken down, that are penetrating the bloodstream. If it's not broken down properly, that means like you have undigested matters that penetrate the bloodstream. And this is no good. This is no good. This is allergy. This is ultimately autoimmune issue. It will go through a first filter. The first filter is the liver. Okay, so the liver will see that, say, okay, whoa, no, you don't pass, you cannot, and the liver will process and will release the toxins in the digestive system, again, to be sent out. But at some point, because of the load, again, the liver cannot perform its functions properly of filtering. So it means like it becomes like an open door. It becomes an open door, and all those unwanted particles, whatever it is, an undigested protein, a toxin, or fat particles, or whatever, will penetrate the bloodstream and start affecting the whole circulatory system. Okay, and the whole circulatory system also has a defense. It's called the lymphatic system. So it will try to neutralize, and also it will create a reaction, autoimmune reaction. For example, if you have an unwanted protein that penetrated because it hasn't been digested before entering the bloodstream, broken down into amino acid, okay, normally, because amino acid is a good thing. It becomes like a building block for the body to produce its own protein. But if it's undigested, it is a threat. So that's what an allergy is. We have, I lived 12 years in China, and I had a center, and there was a restaurant in that center. And my staff was Chinese, and they did not know what an allergy was. They were not taking it seriously. And there was a lot of travelers coming to my place, and many were saying, "Oh, is there any nuts in this? Is there any egg in this? Is there any?" There was a series of things, and they were taking it a little bit lightly at the beginning, and I had to make it really, really serious at some point, okay, because they didn't know what it meant. Okay, so it's not something allergy that it's probably something that always been according to the strength of the individual, but right now it's really systemic, it's collective. There's a lot of allergies, and it's growing, and there's much more of a big variety of allergies that are there, and which is an autoimmune reaction and an antidote that the body produces so the allergy can cool down. An autoimmune reaction is kind of an allergy somehow, or a dysregulation of the system creates a reaction, but it never stops. So it destroys things. Yeah, like arthritis will destroy all your cartilage and your joints. Like all kinds of nervous system issues that will also like eat and destroy the coating of your nervous system. There's a whole variety, but it's they all have this common denominator. You know. It's not a bug, again. It's not a bug, it's a dysregulation. And when I'm talking about food, I could eventually, I will come and talk about the emotional toxicity and the mental toxicity that also create, a contraction and interfere with the flow. So, but let's stay on track for this live and understand the basic, because this is so important, because if you start understanding it in this way, it will give you so much hope. It will give so much common sense, because this is where mostly all our problems nowadays, our health problems, have their root in toxicity. So when you start taking enzyme on a daily basis, you release the burden the body has to produce the digesting and detoxifying enzyme, which are the same nature. Okay, and then the body starts to have more power, more capital to invest into metabolic functions. And then this is where you start walking back in time. You start walking back in time, because now you get to the level of toxicity that you had 5 years ago. You get to the level of toxicity that you had 10 years ago. If you keep digging, and digging, you will get back to a level of vitality that you thought were gone, that you thought was just disappear because you were that old. But this is not how it goes. Of course, your energy will be spent differently. If we're 20, we have we discover things and we have the energy to discover these things. When we're 30, we have, it changes. And then as we age, there are different interests. But in terms of feeling the energy, the vitality to pursue our dreams and our vision is there. It's not like you're not moving forward. You're not staying, at home because you don't have the energy. You don't have the spark. There's no more spark. There's no more excitement in your life. This is not something because you've seen it all. Don't lie to yourself in this. It's not about that. It's about the drive of the child who wakes up and he's just like, oh, I want to do things, want to do things, so many things. If we look at that, you ask a kid, what do you want to do today? And they, oh, I want to go out. I want to go to the park. I want to sleep at my friend. I want to, I want ice cream. I want to, I want to watch that cartoon or whatever it is. There's a list suddenly, they come up with a big list of things they're excited. And you ask the same thing to someone, older, over 40, and you say, you know what? I think I'll take a sabbatical to figure one thing out. Where did that come from? It's like it's a disconnection. It's kind of it's a weakness. It's a deep fatigue. It's also unclarity. It's really a disconnection from the body because as the body clogs, the less you feel. You will just feel what comes to the surface, the symptom, the headache, the pain, the itches, the discomfort. This is what comes to the surface, and this is where our life experience in our nervous system is moving through all the time. It's not like when the body is clear and the energy flows, there's no concern there. It's just like a vehicle that is ready for the highway. It's a vehicle that is ready for excitement. And there's no clogging because the nervous system, the brain is just it's a hard drive. It's something that just interprets or gives you the feedback of what is going on into your system. The way you see life, everything, the way you think is really reflecting the condition of your body. If you start connecting clean organs and a clean and a flowing system, because that's how the body regulates itself. The body is not fixing problem. The body is managing problem until there's no more problem and there's a flow, and then it goes, and then it's fine. The only thing it requires is maintenance. That's all it requires. We should not spend so much energy on our health if our lifestyle was aligned with health. Okay, because now we developed and we program a lifestyle that is disconnected from the health. We're actually poisoning ourselves, and we dream of health. We dream of not having this symptom, of not having this headache, or not having this immune issue, not having this bloating. And we keep walking this, and we take supplements because we say, if you take this, it will take care of your GERD. If you take this, it will take care of your bloating. If you take this, it will, it should remove your headaches, or you take this and you will think clearer. And so it's all about adding on top of without addressing the root cause. Many of these things, there's nothing wrong with. What is wrong with that is that it never tells you, yes, this will help you, but don't forget, go take care of the root cause. Go detox your body. The detoxification is the beginning. It's the beginning of the road. It's unavoidable. It's not an event. It's not something that you do in Thailand for a week with juices and and you did it. I did it. I hear that so much. It's since I am in the field, I hear all those stories. Oh yeah, I've done this. But this is not like this. It's like, it's as important as eating. It should be part of your daily life as eating. And I'm not talking only about enzyme. Enzyme is just the safety zone. That means like it was not existing before in this matter. That's why I got into this, because the main issue with detox is that it's complex. It's complicated. How do I detox my intestine? How do I detox my blood vessels? How do I detox my liver? Is like, okay. And then we're bombarded by products, we're bombarded by coaches, we're bombarded by, pulling us, and it becomes a maze that leads us, most of them leads us to hardship, okay, and forces us to retreat a few times a year. And that means like, okay, step away from your life for a while, clean your body, and that's good for you. And then after that, you go back to your life. But it's like if you can do enemas. If you can drink this, and you can buy, and this is it's very complex, and it's very unappealing for many people. It's like I don't know, and you don't feel safe. Am I doing the right thing? Is this product good? Because I've heard that this product also is good, but there's a different price in it, and like this is the world we're living in at the moment. It's very, very complex. So what the idea I had when I had access to so much plants, and also a variety of experts, because I practice TCM, but I'm not a botanist, I'm not a microbiologist, I'm not a pharmacist, you know. I'm not a naturopath, I'm not an expert in plants. But with the team, I say, okay, the problem with detox nowadays is that people enter this, they feel it from inside. They feel that they need to detox. It common sense. It's really reached the common sense of people now. It's like, okay, it makes sense. It's true. I do that with my car twice a year, and I don't do that for my body. It's like it makes sense that, and we feel it from inside. But but it's complex. It's complex. It's like, okay, I need to clean my gut. I need to clean my liver. There's I need to clean my blood vessels. Apparently, I need to feed my microbiome. Apparently, I have heavy metal, and then there's parasites probably into this, and then I should have like, I'm probably missing magnesium, and there's I need antioxidant because I'm moving toxins. It's like, okay, but I am a painter. Or yes, but I am, it's like, do I want to spend 5,000 hours on YouTube to figure out who's the good guy and make sense of all of this? So, so this is where I I say we need to resolve that issue. We need to resolve that by putting this all these concern and that those necessity, because in everything that I mentioned, there's nothing that is untrue. Okay, this is part of what it is, but is it for our fellow humans, everyone who's have their job, have their life, to become an expert in that field? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's the job of the healers. That's the job of the educators, to put these things together and to think about this and to offer something that is convenient. Because and don't take me wrong, until 10 years ago, I had no solution myself. I didn't have any solution. That when when I heard about this, uh, and I had an experience, I say, oh, this is where the trigger came, and I say, oh, this is the way we can introduce detoxification uh, to the masses into a real convenient way. Because detox because my experience in the past for a detox center owner was to shake the hands of people when they were leaving, and they were saying, I feel better, and I was hearing the part, but I will never do this again. It was too confronting. It was, the physical, healing crisis, the highs and lows, the physical, the emotional, the lack of sleep that can happen when you just water fast, um, is not for everyone. Maybe someone who has like a life-threatening issue when they're just painted in the corner. They will say, "Okay, I'll go for it." But it's not like will come from wisdom and understanding. Like, it's like we don't react all the same facing discomfort. Some people, like to break through, you like to do sport and you out of breath and you get to your second breath. There's some people who do that, and some other will just stop when they reach there. And there's nothing wrong. It's just a matter of personality. But the majority is on that side. And the majority, when reach hardship or discomfort, say, you know what? I don't think I'm interested. Or some people will do it for a while. And this is what happened with detox. They will go get into it and they discovered that, they read a book, and then they keep, they do it a few times and they talk about it all the time. And you meet them a few years later and say, oh, yeah, long time I didn't do it. Long time I didn't do it. It's like, yeah, I don't have time, it's difficult, family life, whatever, and it's totally understandable, especially that if we don't understand how critical it is. If we knew that that toxicity was at the root of pretty much all our discomforts, maybe it would be more popular. But now that that we dissociate the discomfort that we have and our level of toxicity, we're trying to bypass, and that's why the supplement industry is thriving. So with the enzymes, we can ingest and get this input of cleanser inside our system, and at the same time improve our absorption and heighten our vitality. The vitality is not in a pill, is not in a capsule, is not in an activity. The vitality is produced by the cells themselves. If we don't feel vitality, it's because there's a roadblock. So we need to restore the flow so we can feel this energy flooding our system again. Vitality is inherent. We produce that energy. And also, of course, there's external sources of energy. But if these external sources enter a system that is clogged, we will not feel it. So energy, vitality re-emerge. It's something that re-emerge. It's not something that we take energy. Taking energy is like taking a credit card with an empty bank account. And then you go and you have a feeling, there's a boost, there's a burst. That's why the pop and the sugar industry and the coffee industry is thriving. It's thriving on an exhausted society. And it feels like we have energy, but we're not actually accessing energy. We're not accessing energy. We're faking energy. It's like your credit card, you go shopping, you're faking you have money. And you're spending energy, you're spending money you don't have. And it's the same thing. When you just boost and stimulate your system with all kinds of things, and if you feel tired at that time, what happens is like the body will dig and take the energy from your organs, and you pay back later. Okay. So this is the cost of avoiding this. I'm not saying this to scare you or anything. It's the opposite. I want to give you hope and say, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And there's no quick fix. That's the thing. There is a sustainable fix in natural health. That's another thing. We're taught that you have high blood pressure. Take this little thing. Look, it's so little. That thing, no problem. You just take this. Half hour later, my blood pressure, it's fine. Well, my blood sugar is like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Just take this, half an hour. This is what we're trained to. It's like, some people say, oh yeah, I've tried this and, I still have that. I did one kit, I cleansed my intestine, but I still have a sleeping issue. I felt good for a few days. And then, yeah, because you walk back 2 days ago. What do you want to do is to walk back 10 years ago. You want to walk back 20 years ago in time. Cleansing. When you cleanse and you restore the flow inside, this is where first, your symptoms will just disappear because the symptoms that you're experiencing are the shout, are the signal the body gives you to ask you for help. The body's fighting in the back, it's not abandoning you. The body's fighting for you behind. Okay. So once you start having symptoms, don't say, oh no, say thank you. That should stimulate you to get into action and get get some tools. Of course, nutrition, detoxification, exercise, and ability to rest, to manage stress are all part of it too. But if the body is clogged, the other one will be very difficult, very difficult, So make sure that you integrate and you think to make sure that you shift from thinking that detox is an event, an activity, a trendy thing, and a cool thing makes sense. And I'm taking care of myself to bring it into your lifestyle. And all those symptoms gradually will vanish and you'll become more clear, more attuned with your system, more intimate with your system, and you will know what to do. You'll have more clarity, more signal, because at some point it's very confusing because we're so clogged. So just start cleansing and don't think cleansing one system. That's why I created the 5 element system, because the body uses 5 drainage pathways. We need to restore all of them. If you restore only one, not enough. It's not enough. Restore, give the body its power back. Give its self-healing power back, its self-detoxing power back. After that, once it's done, you just need to dust. At the beginning, it may take a couple of years, it's like, it's not a quick fix. It takes, it may take a couple of years to get rid of 30, 40 years of intoxication that we had behind. So what is 2 years to clear all that and to restore, to really rejuvenate? Instead of fighting my autoimmune issue, fighting my Lyme disease, fighting my whatever, my chronic bloating, fighting my headaches. Work at the root and make it simple. Make it into your lifestyle. Make it pleasant. Make it pleasant. Not like a chore. And that's what we tried to do with the enzymes. Make it look good. Make it easy to live with, and we just thought it all for you. And that why? Because that should be our job. Don't need to think. You just need to keep the show going, because what you're doing, the healers need it also. Okay, so all your creativity, the fullness of who you are the whole society needs it. So we do our job so you can do yours and we can enjoy the ride. Mm. So, um, yeah, I think I've talked enough. I would like to maybe to take some of your questions if there's any. Yeah, happy to do that. Yeah, by the way, about this topic, as a reminder, I wrote a PDF. You can access, just ask for it in our social media, and we will send you a PDF on that topic. It's good to have as a reminder, put somewhere in the living room and you see it, then it will help you to get back to understanding. Anyone has some question? You take enzyme regularly, won't your body stop producing enzyme on its own? That's a good question. And I think I already answered it, but that will reinforce it. As I say, we have source enzymes. So source enzymes are either directed towards digestion or metabolic function. So if you supply the enzymes for digestion and detoxification, your body will thrive, will into metabolic functions, will accentuate, will invest more into its metabolic function. So it's not gonna weaken your body. Like for example, if you take painkillers, it may atrophy a gland that produce endorphins, for example. And if you stop taking them, then you will suffer because the body will not get back immediately into producing endorphin. You will take, yeah, that's what drug addicts on heroin, for example, or morphine experience because they take those endorphins artificially and it atrophies the glands. So, but this is not what happens in with enzymes. I had the same question at the beginning. Yeah, all the things with GERD or acid reflux, and it's all linked to a dysregulation of the system, an acidification of the system. So I think that if uh, one organ that is key, and I truly believe that it's underlying cause of every health issue is the clogging of the liver. The clogging of the liver allows, first the liver plays over 500 functions. It's involved in the blood sugar. It's involved into the hormonal balance, and it's involved in the fat uh, processing. To name just a few. So if the liver is clogged and allows this, doesn't perform these function and allows toxicity to fill the bloodstream, then yeah, it dysregulate. Don't focus on, don't target issues. Stop that. Stop fighting the discomfort of, if you can address the root cause, the symptoms will start changing. Okay, the symptoms will disappear, they will vanish gradually. If you have acid reflux, you can also explore with your diet, but to control, there's probably some an imbalance into the pH of your system that does not allow you to digest a certain type of foods. Can be fat, can be some sugar or carbs. Okay, and then it will make you bloating, or it will create some reflux or discomfort. So try to manage in this way while you are working on the root cause. That means restoring the full power of each organs. Okay, so because otherwise you get mad. You get mad with the system. If you just start to snip all the weeds that are coming to the surface without addressing, you will never end. You will never end. It's a dysregulation of the system. Give the body its power back of self-regulation. This is our job. Okay, we have a Lamborghini. Our body is a luxury car. It's is there to enjoy the ride. Okay, what we need is just to maintain it. Is not to try to bypass and make it run better. You cannot. You cannot bypass. There's a root cause behind it. Address the root cause. This is what the main mentality you should have. Don't target and start fighting the symptoms individually. Listen to the symptoms, of course, okay, but get into action to the root cause. Start taking mycelia, and I have the gut enzyme 10-day pack to work on inflammation prior to work on my first one cleanse. How soon after starting mycelia would you recommend starting the three gut essentials? Okay, you don't need to separate this. If you take the mycelia, we say, okay, inflammation, in fact, because we know that polysaccharides, mushroom polysaccharides are, do that. Pretty much every enzyme, it's part of the nature of enzyme to be anti-inflammatory. There in the tree gut essential, you have bromelain in the fiber crystal, and you have bromelain into the quantum particles. These are two. It's very powerful anti-inflammatory, but it's not linear. This is something that we try to figure how to communicate, because we have these questions. I have inflammation. I have this. Okay. In fact, we have formulated the various liquids or products that we have with specific ingredients, but at the same time, they work on more issues than, we say that mushroom polysaccharide is anti-inflammatory. We know that. It's proven. They use that, in the medical system, but it does not only do that. It does not only do that. And the same thing. So if you have the three gut essentials, go for it immediately. You can take the fiber crystal before bed, and they're very powerful. The new formula is very powerful. Okay. And if you take half of them, make sure that you bend, you don't, and you clip. So for the next day, okay, it will not be in contact with the air or the humidity in the room. Just clip it so you can use it the next day. Quantum particles, we say it's a digestive enzyme, but if you have inflammation, you can take it before your meals. So there's bromelain into this one as well. So don't hold back the enzyme. Go as you to your own pace. Explore with them. If you feel that it detoxes too much, or it's too much, you can go back, but you cannot hurt yourself with the enzyme. They're old food, and sometimes it's just about what we can handle, especially at the beginning. At the beginning, when there's a lot of toxicity, we're moving a lot of toxins. The more enzyme we take, the more toxins we move. But if you feel that it's too much, just reduce. Just reduce and dose at your own pace and play with it. Your goal is to integrate this into your lifestyle, so you don't need to think about it. You don't need to focus on your symptoms. They will vanish. They will disappear quite rapidly, actually. But look, if you have digestive issues, test with the food. What are the things that, test with the things that are actually triggering those symptoms, and try to avoid them. Oftentimes right now we kind of lost the ability to digest carbs, for example. There's some chemicals that have affected our flora that really has weakened ability to digest carbs. So just test with the food, and while you're detoxing, you can stay into your comfort zone. Stay in your comfort zone as you're actually working on cleansing the whole body. As Amy here is asking, she has the one and the forgive, and if she should take something else before. This depends if you are experienced or if you have a lot of detoxing done in the past. I don't think it's a problem to start with the one and the forgive. But if you feel like, oh my God, you expecting a big detoxification to happen, you can start with liquids. Let's say for a couple of weeks, one or two bottles for 2 weeks or a month, and the quantum particle, not the quantum particle, but the three gut essentials. So that will just on a daily basis open the gates and start the flow before entering the one and the forgive. So this is up to you, but most people who start with the one can handle it, but if it's about your feeling, if you're a little bit nervous because of what you read on the Telegram group, the user group, you can start with liquids and the three gut essentials. So that will make you used to the power of the enzyme first, and but keep in mind that the enzymes are not dangerous. They cannot harm you. Okay, they will not harm you. This is all food, and it's actually what we do by fermenting them for 3 years. We are actually creating a stomach there for you. We digest it and we give it to you ready to absorb. So it doesn't require effort from your system. The only thing is like they work. So that means like, if there's a lot of toxins to come out, you're going to move toxins. So this is not a problem. So it's just a matter of handling the flow of toxins that come out, and every cleanse will just get you it become easier and easier. That's the logic. Yeah. Mhm. Carolyn, how to tackle obesity with chronic illness, post-COVID fatigue, which can feel so overwhelming. Where to start for the food noise, even after doing several cleanses already? Yeah, I mean, the fat management is directly related to the liver. So this is a key, really. It's very important to restore fat metabolism. So in order to restore your fat metabolism, try to cut as much as possible any sugar intake and any carbs intake. Okay, so your body can stay in ketosis and get fat into your diet, because oftentimes it's people are who want to lose weight, they tend to cut the fat. Actually, we want to stimulate the liver and restore the fat metabolism. So what is very important to and you will it's quite something in our society to cut the carbs, because sandwiches, burgers, bread, pizza, and noodles. These are the things that if you try to manage your weight uh, without and continuing to get this carbs intake, it will be very, very difficult, actually probably impossible. So it's important that you orient your energy source towards the fat. So, and all these things you talk about COVID fatigue, or let the body, don't tackle symptoms again. Don't tackle symptoms. Work overall. Work your health at the by providing, by aligning your lifestyle with health. Health is not a goal, it's a path. Okay, this is very important that you keep in mind. Is about walking the path. So if you make sure that you have exercise, you cannot be healthy without exercise. You need to have stress management. Develop, invest in this, in managing your stress. Whatever suits you well, whatever it is, whatever you, as long as you start investing and journeying towards this, you will learn, you will grow, and you will find your sweet spot for you. Okay, but it's necessary nowadays. Otherwise, the pressure remains high, 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 and it never we don't develop there, and this completely dysregulates your system. So nutrition, detoxification, don't stop, exercise, and stress management. This is what you need to, and this way is not to overwhelm you. Is the opposite. Is to make it simple for you. It's really and start gradually, because you're not trying to fix things quickly. What you want is to integrate new habits into your life. And how we integrate new habits in our life is also by customizing these habits to our personality, our taste, our culture, things you want. So find the exercise you like to do. Find the food you like, but be careful with what I mentioned before, and the stress management as well. I'll take one more question. How often would you recommend doing the Zen Cleanse 1, or do you have an annual protocol with the different options? Uh-huh. Which protocol is best for chronic inflammation, cleansing and repair, gut health, parasite, and liver repair? So you see again, okay, don't take it bad, but you're fighting discomfort. Okay, you need to approach it globally. You need to approach it globally. So the Zen Cleanse 1 is not about how many times, is about doing it until the digestive system is clean. And this you will notice by looking at what comes out. At the beginning, people can have like 4, 5, 6 releases the next day, and it's spectacular. And at some point, it will reduce to 1 or 2 releases, and the color will be like a unified brown color. So if you still see black, yellow, pale, all these, it means like you're not there yet. Okay, and if it's all wet and damp, this is also you're not there yet. So I cannot give you a number. I can say that most people will need 3 or 4 to get started, but if you do 3 or 4 over 10 years, is not enough. I mean, 3 or 4, quite rapidly you may get closer to reach the bottom. And for the rest, the skin issue is not an issue to fight. It's your body already trying to get rid of toxicity inside. So it's don't address that directly. Okay, this is it will not lead to anywhere. What we created is a system where there are some in different addressing different organs, and they have different ingredients that really are famous to address these specific organ, but not exclusively. Keep taking enzyme. Don't make it complicated. Okay, we're coming with a series of the 5 element system detox programs that will help you if to know exactly what product to follow gradually to intake. But if don't fight disease, stop fighting disease. Cleanse life, feed life. Okay, don't think about. I know that inflammation is annoying, skin rashes are annoying, but these are the voice of your body fighting the skin rash, a nose leaking, all kinds of ways of sweating or mucus coming. This is all the means the body has to um, to cleanse itself. So as you're gonna cleanse yourself for a while, you're gonna feel that thing. It's not that your body is getting worse, it's the opposite. It's coming out. Okay, so everything that you're feeling, try to understand it different way. It's not a problem. It's your body fighting for you. So you need to support your body. That's the function. That's what the position we should take. Not like the one who can control the functions of the body. We cannot do that. What we can do is to support the body so the body can recover its self-healing power. Okay. So thank you for being there. And there is another live that will come, I think it's April 15, the next one. So hope to see you there. Okay. Thank you, everyone.